Imagine trying to patch a boat that's springing leaks everywhere with nothing but duct tape. That's how the Buffalo Bills defense felt last season. But after the 2025 NFL draft, they're bringing out the heavy machinery. The Bills just wrapped one of their most defense-loaded drafts in franchise history, and today, we're breaking down exactly how Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott might have rebuilt Buffalo's identity from the inside out. It all started with a shot of pure adrenaline. Kentucky cornerback Maxwell Hairston, the fastest defensive back at the combine, a blistering 4.28 40-yard dash, and a guy who can flat out fly. But Hairston isn't just fast, he's instinctive. 6 interceptions, 3 pick sixes, SEC leader. Buffalo didn't just add speed, they added a playmaker with real instincts, something the secondary badly needed. Then came a bold move. Beane traded up to grab South Carolina's TJ Sanders at 41 overall. Massive, twitchy, and explosive, Sanders is built like a wall but moves like a linebacker. Picture him lining up next to Ed Oliver. Collapsing pockets, wrecking third downs, exactly what this defense has been missing. Next up, Arkansas edge rusher Landon Jackson. Built like a prototype at 6 feet 6 inches, 264 pounds with vines for arms, Jackson isn't just a pass rusher. He's a disruptor. A 2-time All-SEC monster who dominated the Senior Bowl and brings a brand of relentless energy Buffalo's edge group desperately needs. Still not done beefing up the trenches, the Bills doubled down. Another trade-up. Another SEC product. Dion Walker, the 6'7", 345-pound nose tackle from Kentucky. If you're picturing a slow-footed big man, think again. Walker moves better than a guy his size should be allowed to. Raw? Absolutely. But his upside is terrifying. If McDermott can coach him up, he could become a centerpiece of this line for the next decade. Ohio State's Jordan Hancock, a Swiss Army knife who can line up at safety, nickel, or corner. Versatility? Check. Championship pedigree? Check. And with a 4.45 he brings more speed to a defense that needed it desperately. In a draft flooded with defensive picks, the Bills did sprinkle in some offensive reinforcements. Georgia Tech tight end Jackson Hawes brings a throwback physicality to the offense. A versatile, gritty blocker who can seal edges and protect Josh Allen when it matters most. Think of him as a security guard in shoulder pads. But right after Hawes, Beane went right back to his roots, stacking the secondary. The Bills weren't finished building depth either. Virginia Tech's Dorian Strong, a zone coverage specialist with 7 career interceptions, was scooped up in the 6th round. He's the kind of lunch pail player McDermott loves. Tough, experienced, and competitive. And then came Chase Lunt, 6'8", a former Connecticut Husky who started almost 50 games at right tackle. Lunt isn't just a mountain, he's athletic for his size, a key trait for Buffalo's zone run scheme. Finally, to cap it all off, Maryland wide receiver Kaden Prather. At 6'4", Prather adds size to the Bills' receiving corps, and with nearly 2,000 college yards under his belt, he could quietly grow into a valuable red zone threat for Josh Allen. Big picture? The Bills drafted 9 players, and 6 of them were on defense. 4 of their first 5 picks were from the SEC, stacking talent from the best conference in college football. And crucially, they got younger. The average age of the defensive line has dropped by almost 4 years compared to last season. That's not just refreshing, that's strategic. With veterans like Joey Bosa expected to be rotational pieces and young blood like Jackson, Sanders, and Walker ready to push for real snaps, this defense feels reloaded, not just rebuilt. Was it risky moving up twice for big men in the trenches? Sure. But if Sanders and Walker hit, the Bills could have just laid the foundation for a top 5 defense over the next several years. Brandon Beane said it best. When you find players you believe in, you go get them. Buffalo didn't just draft players this year, they drafted an identity. And when training camp opens at St. John Fisher, you can bet the battles in the trenches will be must-watch football. Go Bills!